Alright, so now that it's just me, I'm gonna do a little recording session just as a little feeler to see what storage it'll be like, or what storage will look like in terms of my computer, because I do have an idea for just gaming series on my own without outside of Minecraft. You know, I like Rocket League, I like improving at games. Honestly, if I can make a series, just, you know, the standard Rocket League road to whatever, but not necessarily being a road to SSL or anything. It's just trying to improve on my own because I don't play the game a lot, even though I do like it. I'm going to be finishing up this building, this house. Maybe not the entirety of it, but enough so that I can build the enchanting table so that I can get some enchants going, because I am level 35. And I don't know if you know how Minecraft works, but the more levels you have, the more experience it takes to level up, thus invalidating some of your experience, because enchantments only take 30 levels. Wow. We're using full oak. So these slabs might not be worth it. I think we said we wanted this at the bottom, actually. So I will do that instead. Assuming right here is probably good enough. What if it was raised? Decisions. Yeah, that'll probably work. Standard 1, 2. Oh no. It's fine. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I can still cross this way, but now this is a wall. How do I want to do that? I could put them on the roof. I don't know if that works. I've never tried that before. Well, I say roof, but above the enchanting table. Wait, there's an easy test for this. 24. 24. It doesn't seem like this works. Yeah, it doesn't work. I keep instinctually trying to press my NVIDIA replay button. I am a fool. Yeah, that does work. I did it. I knew it worked, but just making sure. Rain. Should I go more in? Well, I did say I wasn't going to talk that much about it, or not give too many details about that car accident, which I won't. Smiley face. I know it's a very, very lucrative, enticing subject matter, but I do not want to give too many details away in the case that it somehow comes back to me and it does horrible things to us. I don't know. But 1, 2, 1, 2, 30. Yup. Unbreaking is not bad. I'd have to look into my... Actually, I am looking for either Fortune or Silk Touch on my pickaxe, but Unbreaking's good. Unbreaking, Knockback, not really worth. Feather Falling on boots would be nice. It's Depth Strider, that's also pretty good, but as of right now, it's looking like an Unbreaking enchantment on my pickaxe, and then I can do something else, which hopefully will give me... I should check a book, just in case. I would rather have the enchantments I want on a book than on the tool itself, because if I just get the enchantment on the tool, there's a higher likelihood chance that I get enchantment. Well, I guess it works either way, but this. Nah, I'll just have to tool or sword when I have the chance. I am looking to see how much storage each recording takes up, because as of right now, using NVIDIA Shadow Replay, it's a minute 30 long, and they take up roughly a gig per clip, which makes it so that it is not. My little sister just walked into my room. What was I saying? Oh, the storage conundrum with recordings. I want to see if those high storage counts are because it's an NVIDIA Shadow Replay or because that's just how much storage videos of that length take up. Which, either way, I think I'm fine with because I should just make it a new bow. I'm fine with either way because as of right now, I have enough storage for roughly a 2-hour long recording that still allows me to cut up into individual pieces. But I am wary of that because whether or not you saw the previous episodes or whether or not it becomes as popular as it would ideally become, my YouTube channel that is, you may or may not have seen that some of those recordings are a bit messed up. You know, natively they were captured at 1080p, but when I exported them, they were squashed. I don't know what the proper term is, but they were sent from 1080p to 840 by 700 or something, or 600 maybe, which I believe is 720p. But you know, not an ideal situation to be in. Flame, it's alright. Power, piercing. I guess I'm just gonna go for the unbreaking enchantment, even though, you know, it could be bad, but it gives me unbreaking is always good. I would prefer Silk or Fortune, but unbreaking is always good. Ideally with more than one enchantment. Please. That is pretty good. I would like Fortune 3, and the efficiency could be better as well, but as a starter pick, that is not bad. Silk Touch, you have you. Ooh, that's also good. I am being taunted by the gods for that enchantment, huh? Unbreaking, I would prefer Feather Falling. Infinity, I might go for Infinity. I guess I'm crafting another pick. Just to see if I can get Silk Touch on that pick, because I got Silk Touch in the shovel and the axe enchantment. I don't know if that's how Minecraft enchantments work, but I do know that, well, I know that for tools, if one of them gets silk, all of them get silk. But I don't know if pickaxe is a tool or if that falls under something else. Am I making a diamond pickaxe? I'm taking a diamond block with me just in case. Yeah. I mean, I'm always gonna need a new pick. Probably. So, I mean, I don't have mending right now, and my pick's already at 900 as is. I could anvil it, I guess, but I would prefer mending. Obviously. Silk Touch. So there is Silk Touch in my diamond pick. I'm crafting one. The reason I'm crafting one is because when I go mining, if I just mine with a fortune pick, I would end up with a ton of ores and blocks or whatever, but if I just Silk Touch them, it would save me the hassle of having to inventory manage, and it's oh nice. It would save me the hassle of having to inventory manage a ton of ores that I would like to keep, because obviously if you fortune pick an ore, you're gonna get more of that ore, which then in turn fills up your inventory, which means you can't mine as long as you would like. I don't think I've ever used the crossbow. I keep one for the novelty, I guess, but I don't think I've ever used the crossbow. From what I saw before, it does decent damage, you know. It could be good to have a good crossbow, but I just don't like how much time it takes to cock it up. Know what I mean? Decisions. Let's see what you look like. Blast protection. I am not a fan of this. I guess I could just enchant a normal book. just call it a day there. Am I killing a cow for this? No, I'm not killing a cow. I'm not a monster. I'm breeding a cow, which makes me a hero. Socrates said that, I think. Now that I'm aware of it, I just think of the saying the word you know, and now I don't want to say it anymore. Oh, God. How do you like my pile of rocks, by the way? I don't think you've ever seen a better pile of rocks than mine. What do you think is the meaning of life? For me, it's just chilling, relaxing, seeming all cool, staying calm under the heat of pressure. That's what life is all about. Not exploding, you know. Exploding in a metaphorical sense, not in a literal sense, although I guess you can see where I'm coming from, seeing as, no, I did just survive. I'm saying it like it was a bad wreckage. It really wasn't. It was, if I could draw this, it would just be the front right side or front passenger side that got any sort of damage. Even just the left side of the driver's side would not look as if the car would not look as if it was in a car accident, if that makes sense. I was sleeping. No, I was putting away the carrots, and then I was going to use the wheat to feed the cows. I did not notice it's already been 15 minutes. I guess that's just how time flies when you're playing Minecraft. Whoa. What do you think that means? Actually, I'll probably have to censor that. Well, it looked like a tag. I'd have to look at it again. But from my memory, it looked like a 64-bit set of characters, or base 64 set of characters. I'd have to look into what exactly it would say, but whether or not I have to censor that comes from me in the future. Okay. That was lag. That last arrow hit. Did I grab everything? But did I grab everything? It looks like I did, but where's the banner? There it is. Should I talk about myself? Do people want to know what a 22-year-old guy thinks about? What he thinks is... What was that Bo Burnham quote? I don't think people think about what a 22-year-old has to say about the world. Something like that. I'm butchering it hard. Future me, find the clip right now. I'm in a weird period of my life where I have to think about what I'm gonna do as a job. And you know, everyone's always saying that you're never forced to you're not forced to keep one job for the rest of your life ever. But it is very, very scary, especially considering the economical turmoil, and even just the political turmoil that looting would be nice. That America's currently facing, you know. I guess not a massive fan of Trump or Elon, which if you are, I am curious as to why you would be, but I mean, I guess I understand why one would be a fan of those people, but as in I don't want to say as an educated person because then it just sounds like I'm insulting whoever is or whoever supports what they do, but I just don't think that what they're doing is good for the country or even just a human being. I just my my philosophy always comes back to that idea of why do you oh it used to be why do you feel the necessity to tell someone how they are supposed to live their life, you know? I guess liberal is the right word. I just don't know if that's fully encompassing of what I entirely believe in, but I just I don't think people are entitled to uh, dictate how someone else is supposed to live their life. You know, I think people are allowed to choose their own way in life. Yeah, if that makes sense, but uh, I can't wrap my head around being mad at someone for say, and this is an extreme, I guess, but say dyeing their hair. You know, they're not doing anything to you. What does it matter that I could put a campfire into there? What does it matter that they want to live their life how they want to? Why does it matter that they want to be referred to in a certain way? And I get it, because after a certain point, you do get to that other side of the story where you now have people being extremely mad, and I'm not saying they're not allowed to be, but I'm all from that side of the argument. You know, why do you have to be so mad for someone either accidentally, and you know, obviously I'm referring to an accidental uh, situation here, but why do you have to be mad when someone accidentally refers to you in a noun that you don't prefer, or not noun, I guess pronoun is the right word. You know, I have transgender friends. I have friends who do not go by she they. I have friends who don't go by he they. I have or that don't go by she her he him. uh, and you know, at the beginning, I mean, especially before even having met them, I have accidentally used the wrong term, and I have accidentally referred to them in a way that they don't like, but we're still friends because we can both recognize that, oh, that was an accident. I didn't mean to say that. And I also understand that she's not, or they or she or him are not negatively impacting my own life. You know, I made a mistake, and it doesn't mean that that mistake was how can I explain this in a way that doesn't make me you know, I feel I am a decently liberal person. You know, I don't, and liberal in the sense of I don't. People should be allowed to live how they live their lives. This goes back. This ideology or philosophy or whatever it's called goes back to comedian George Carlin, where he went on, and you know, he had his own problems. As no one's perfect, but he went on to say something along the lines of the idea that words only have meaning so long as you give them meaning or believe in them. I've definitely, and I do not do not condone this type of behavior, but and just so we're clear, I have and I'm still friends with black people, but back in high school, and just for the record, I am not a white person. I am a Hispanic Latino, and if you are from a Hispanic or Latino community, you would understand, or you would see where I'm coming from when I say that that community, especially younger people that are in like high school or whatever, have a very liberal use or choice of words, and I don't mean that in the political sense. I mean that in the sense that we just say things as long as it's in our head. We say them, which not necessarily good, but I have in the past, back in high school, said the N word, and obviously, I would not say it now. And I just so we're clear, and it wasn't it was I've said it in reference to just friends and people that I enjoy, or friends and people that I talk to, even to my black friends that who I talk to. I have said that to their face because I just thought, oh, it's a word. You know, obviously now I recognize that you can't just say those things. You can't just, you know what I mean? Oh my god, this is. I hope you recognize that I'm saying this out of weakness. No, not weakness, but vulnerability. I'm not trying to justify or say whatever about what I did. I do not like that I said those words, but I said them at the time because at the time I believed that it would be fine to say those words, especially considering that my friends were around and they said them. Our black friends, were around and they didn't say anything, but nowadays you would catch me dead before I said those words. I don't know. It's a high school phase. Obviously, it was more than just that word. But I I can't imagine believing sincerely that you are entitled to say those things, and that especially that one guy that works for Elon that said I can't, or something along the lines of normalize Indian hate. Dude, come on, bro. Like, what is, what is, what? How have you gotten so far in life that you can say something like that and believe that you're okay or in the right in saying that? I don't understand. I don't know. I realize now that I am just walking back and forth, but eh. I think people should just. Well, oh my god, it was something called like the something rules of life or commandments or something, but it boiled down to don't. People should be allowed to. You should live your life, but not in the sense of negatively impacting someone else's. Something like that. I forget the exact quote. I also don't know if that'll work. I guess I can test it just now. No, I can't. Yes, I can. And I. Oh, it works. Either that or the bees aren't home. I don't know how that works. Uh-oh. Hopefully I am satisfied with this recording or clip or whatever. Enough that I just start recording my Rocket League series, which I think I will regardless. Hopefully it is not bad, because I do recognize that playing a game competitively while also trying to commentate or say something that is hopefully of note is much harder than just walking back and forth picking blocks here and there. But yeah, it's gone to 30 minutes and I want to see how much storage that is. So if you did enjoy something like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. No. If you did, well, I guess if you did enjoy something like this, and should you find what I am saying of noteworthy attention or notoriety or even just entertaining, feel free to subscribe, I guess. I don't know, it feels weird saying that out loud now, but that is essentially what I am leading up to. Because I will keep doing this, and I am very, very, It's not looking good for real thinkers who think like me, who don't want to cause ruckus in the world, who are just trying to learn something or educate themselves. Because I am currently in college for computer science, which, if you've seen the news or keep up with that sort of field work, or even if you're in the same major as me, you know that it's not looking good for computer science majors with the AI revolution and such, and the economy's not looking good, and the politicians are all corrupt, and people are openly bribing each other, and there's open corruption, and where did it all go wrong, man? I was fully believing that intellectual pursuit would lead us to a better future, but I guess law of averages or law of large numbers or whatever rule that gets applied here is that the the heights of intelligence must equal the lowest points such that the average stays the same or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm a particularly intelligent person. I just do well at exams or in school. But I don't know. It was exciting. I thought we blocked these off. It was exciting then, and now it's bleak. Or maybe this is just what every generation goes through, and everyone has their own problems and issues, and this is just gonna be okay. Because it has to. Right? Please tell me this works out, because I am turning to content creation. Of all things. I'm also pursuing a master's, hopefully, because a program that is seemingly well funded has opened applications, and maybe that'll help me secure a future. I don't know though. Goodbye. Subscribe. Like and follow? I don't know. Bye.